So today I figured I'd switch up the kind of video I made, and rather just talking about sneakers and sneaker news, analyzing the whole market, I figured I'd talk about something a little more personal and relatable to everyone, and that is finding your passion. So the reason why I chose to talk about this is mainly just because I think a lot about what I want to do when I'm older, what I want to do with reselling and everything else I kind of do in my free time. And I realized I still don't really know. So I'm going to school, as most of you knew. I was a triple major when I got here, and I switched to only one major, and that's computer science now. And the reason why I did that is I figured I'd have more fun and enjoyment doing that with my life rather than something that I knew I can make a lot of money doing, but just didn't really apply to me or appeal to me that much. And the point I'm trying to make by telling you guys that is mainly just it's important that you find something that you actually care about when you're thinking about what you want to do. I think a lot of people get caught up with what they see on the internet, being a social media star, professional streamer, all kinds of stuff, being in real estate. I really think people overlook the fact that it's not as easy as it looks, and they do something that they don't really like because they think they can make a lot of money doing it, and they end up failing. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with trying new things. That's the only way you can learn what you like. It's also important though that when you're trying new things, you're trying stuff that you might actually think suits you. You might find things that you're passionate about, whether that's painting, drawing, making YouTube videos, sneakers like me, clothes. There's an assortment of things that you can be passionate about, and it's just important that you focus on growing and learning about yourself rather than just trying to make money and monetizing everything that you do. I recently saw an interview with Jeff Bezos. It was like a clip from it on TikTok, and he was pretty much talking about how when he was in college he was studying physics, and one thing that he realized while he was studying it is even though he loved it so much, he was not good at it. And another point I want to make is it's important that you do something you're passionate about, but it's also important you recognize where that passion will take you and you're aware of how successful you can be. Another thing I see is people focus too hard on their passion, which is never a bad thing, but you also have to balance what you're passionate about with reality. That will set you up for financial success in the future, and not just stuff that is in the moment that makes you happy now, but in the long run you'll be homeless. And I mean, I just think it really is hard to find like what you're passionate about, mainly because you have to put yourself out of your comfort zone. And if that doesn't come easy to you, then you're just gonna have a hard time finding what honestly might really motivate you and make you happy and passionate in life. But again, I mean, my perspective is just a student that's going to school because they know it's important, but not because they really want to. I mean, I've spoke about this before. I really love clothes. I wish I could be a clothing designer. I wish I could be a runway model. But I think that's just a good example of what's more of a dream and what you can really turn into reality. I'm too short to be a runway model, and I'm not creative enough to make good clothing designs. And while you shouldn't let that take away from yourself or put yourself down, it's just important that that's something that you have fun with. That's not something that you should be working towards to be the best or a professional at, because sometimes it just doesn't work out like that. But then again, a lot of people, they go on social media, especially TikTok, they see a lot of people that are really successful at sometimes really random things, and they think to themselves, oh, I could do that too. If he can do it, why can't I? And I just think that's the wrong approach to take. I think comparing yourself to others will ultimately lead to your failure. It's you really just need to find yourself, and that's what finding what you're passionate about is all about. Comparison is the thief of joy, and if you just try and compare yourself to other people that are doing things you don't really care about, but you see them succeeding, you're just gonna feel worse about yourself for really no reason. One thing I realized is life is pretty long. We all have time to find things that we're passionate about, and really all it matters on the day-to-day is that you're trying new things and you're just trying to improve on yourself little by little, because at the end of the day it will amount to something. You should always be trying to learn from new things, and you really should be trying to put yourself out there no matter how hard it is. If there's one thing though that you can get out of this video, is I just want all of you to know that you're not really alone at the end of the day with feel like you're struggling or you're lacking behind. A lot of people feel the same way that you do, and there's nothing wrong with it. As long as you're moving in a forward direction, it's okay. Things don't happen overnight, and you have to work for it. And as I continue to make these videos and continue to try just being a reseller in general, that's one thing I learned. If I go on Instagram when I see another reseller that I know with 10K followers, and I'm have 600. Obviously I have a long ways to go, but that shouldn't be demotivating for me to quit. You know what I mean? It should just be motivation to try harder and motivation that it is achievable. But ultimately, my point is just try and do what makes you happy and don't focus so much on the monetary things. You have time to be successful, and don't kill yourself by working so hard trying to be successful tomorrow. All great things take time to build, and the one thing that you should always be building is your knowledge. Eventually, you will be able to apply it in a way that will make you successful, but the only way to gain that knowledge is by doing things that make you happy, doing things that make you curious, and doing things that puts you out of your comfort zone. I hope this video helped at least one of you guys. I hope this video at least connected to one of you guys, but thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.